Welcome to the J&C Show, where we'll go through all the layers of design.
Hell yeah.
We've got a great podcast planned for you guys today.
So we'll go into the history of designs, well, a brief history of design. We don't have a lot of time here. Then we'll go into some interesting designs about sports, and then we'll go into some designs about music, and then we'll go into the design trends.
Okay, let's control shift to our first segment.
Hey, so welcome back to The History, a weekly segment where we do a little bit of a summary of design history. Last week we talked about the historian to Middle Age period. Today we're going to talk about the Renaissance, which is basically the birth of graphic design. So I found this article about it, which explains how the printing press in Europe was able to recreate text and art in a massive scale. So before, it wasn't really...
it was all handwritten.
It was handwritten. And then with the printing, you're able to do it in a massive scale.
For a lot faster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because of this, there were some inventions. Like here it says the invention of the Gutenberg press, which was in 1439, as the article mentions. By the way, this article will be in the link down below, and you can find it for any references that you want. So in this invention, a movable type that it was in mass communication with the Western culture. So with this press, people no longer had to rely on a lengthy scholarly production of books. So it was very affordable for it to be printable.
Yeah, not just for the rich and stuff.
Yeah, it was for everyone.
Bible pressing, I guess it started out as just Bibles, but the Bibles were really funny in the Middle Age. I know like some weird side profile things. Oh yeah.
And with this came the first logos, which was in the 400s, I would say.
Yeah, I guess when the printer was made, it was like a signature of the person that made it, I guess.
So yeah, like you said, the printing industry was the first one who used logos, and then they were like a branding device, but it was just to show like the printing skill basically. So they would show like, look how like beautiful I could print this design, and then that will create like a logo, and then that reflected how well you printed, how everything was printed well, and then you were like, "Whoa!"
Like the signature became like a status type of like
exactly
in the actually industry. Yeah, that's really
Which
cool.
I found that it was super interesting. Well, I think that's all the time we have today for the history, and I hope to see you next week.
Now, I'm not all that well versed in the sports industry, but we've invited Maxime Lebeau, who has worked in this industry and who can give us some tips and tricks for being able to give a really good design in the industry. So, Max, how are you doing?
Well, hi guys, thanks for having me, first of all. I'm doing very well. How about you guys?
Pretty good.
So, as Chloe said, since you're like an expert in sports design, we've been wondering if you could give us a little bit of insight when it comes to your designs, some of the background and why you chose to do the design in the first place. So we'll start with the cover of your catalog.
I believe, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So this was a catalog I did in 2020. So yeah, I got this brief to do this catalog sports design, specifically tennis. You guys might know I'm a very avid tennis fan.
We do know that, yes.
Play tennis as well, and I just follow it religiously since I was pretty young. And so yeah, when I got this brief, I jumped on it right away, and I just dived into it, and never looked back. And it was overall like just super fun to design and create.
I really love how, like, on this cover, you can see the yellow is very specific to the tennis ball yellow.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
I saw it, and I was like, that is definitely for tennis. Like, just seeing that, I was like, that's really fun. How I wouldn't have read anything, and I would have known it was for tennis.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Well, that was exactly the goal.
And I really like how in the background you have a black and white picture
Yeah.
Because that really makes the color pop.
It draws the focus to the
Yeah,
color.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a tennis court in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's actually
I mean,
Makes sense.
it
Makes sense. Yeah.
it's actually one of the biggest tennis stadiums in the world. Yeah,
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, in Australia, I believe. So
I
yeah.
see.
And what is the company that this catalog is for?
So this is for tennis tours. So it's traveling around to the 4 biggest tournaments of the year, which are the 4 Grand Slams.
Oh.
So those are the 4 biggest tournaments for tennis players. It's sort of what the greatest are known for. Who's won the most, stuff like that.
If you go there, you're well renowned.
Exactly.
You've
yeah.
made it in the
And
tennis
so,
industry. Okay.
Yeah, so this catalog just sort of outlines like certain products and how to purchase tickets to go to those tournaments. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
I think we can move on to the inside of
The
the
next
catalog.
one.
The side.
Wow,
Yes.
I really love this.
Oh, look at the colors.
I love the colors on this.
Thank
It's
you.
super cool.
Yeah.
So if you wanna just give us a little run through.
Yeah, for sure. So the idea behind the color scheme is that every section is about one of the main 4 Grand Slams, as I just said. And what's interesting is that each of them has their own specific identifiable color.
Mm-hmm.
So starting off with the Australian Open, it's that kind of skylight sort of blue, kind of aqua blue. It's really known for that in the branding and all that. The other ones as well. So actually, Roland Garros, the second one, is in Paris, and it's known for the tennis courts that are red clay. And so they're red/orange, and so that's orange skirt. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're running out of time right now, but thank you so much, Maxime Lebeau, for coming here with us.
We could
Thanks
talk
for
to you
having
all
me.
day, I swear.
Well, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right, so there's a lot going on in the business right now, but I just thought today could be interesting if we just looked at some top 10 album covers.
Yeah.
So the idea here, we'll just look at the album covers and just kind of say if we like them or if we don't. So this is according to Dig. I'll put the website down below. Okay? All right, so this first one, Tash Sultana Terra Firma. What are you thinking?
Ooh, I like it. I like the kind of sunset, fire
I
in
love
the
the colors.
bottom.
Yeah. What's next? Bicep ISIL. I really like this cover. It's really cool.
It is really cool, the
Yeah.
waves and everything. But I can't really.
Is that a
is
person?
it?
I think it's a person because I think I see toes over here and hands. I don't know, but I love how
It's interesting. And
yeah, it's very not androgynous, but mystical, and I really like this. It's a
Thumbs
thumbs
up.
up for me. Number 1, Mugway as
Whoa.
the Love Continues.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It's scary. It's quite scary.
It is scary.
It's a thumbs down for me, I think.
I think it's for the fact that it's unique. I'll
Yeah.
give it a thumbs up.
True. Okay. Now, just quickly, because this is very recent, we wanted to talk about the Spotify Wrapped. It's a whole situation.
yeah.
How it's kind of a little shit show. People are very, how do you say, torn between how to feel about
50-50.
Yeah. Let me see.
Because
here.
some people either really love it and are really defending it, and then some people are just trashing
they won't have it.
Yeah, they won't have
so
it.
here, if we look at it, I understand how there is a difference between font being used for legibility and font being used as just a graphic element. And here you can definitely see it's not for legibility. You can't read this, but it's definitely interesting to look.
So it doesn't work as text. It's more as a graph and a graphical element. And I see what they were trying to do, but in my opinion, I feel like it could have been executed better. I kind
of like it. I like it. So that's all the time we've got. I think we went a bit over, but it was really fun. So yeah, now we'll just go to the next segment. All right.
So I don't know about you, Chloe, but I have been noticing some interesting trends in the past few days. So we were just talking about the whole Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
And I feel like a design trend that I have been noticing recently is that there's one called the anti-design trend that is over the past decade. There's like this like
An abundance of it, kind of.
no, I was saying like over the past decade, it has been very strict. The design wise, it's like okay, this has to be
Their rules.
the heading, the paragraph, and there no widows. Nowadays, there's this new trend that is like against everything that you learn about graphic design, and they're like
reconstructing it from the ground.
yeah, and they're like challenging it to what design could actually be. And then here in this website, there's a link down below. I found this cool website that shows you the anti-design, and
It's really cool.
you could just see like it does not follow any rules at all. It works.
Like the way it's like overlapping text, which kind of like at first glance you're like, oh, this shouldn't work, but it actually really does.
Well, I think it's time to control this conversation because we're at the end of the podcast, but it's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to the J&C Show.
Bye bye.